On to the second question of the Gapseed referendum. Should influencer culture be banned? Yes or no? Happy voting. We'll see you on Wednesday. Language and slang are an intricate part of what it means to have a cultural identity. The way we speak, our dialect, and the way we express ourselves is honestly one of the most beautiful things about being Bahamian. I mean, where else can you reverse back and be nice and stink? It may be my bias, but we make everything sound solid. But seriously, Bahamian words and their meanings are so colorful. Naturally, there are some words that we share with other communities. One of the things we've constantly been discussing is our relationship with words that may or may not have a derogatory meaning outside of our culture. And we're going to take some time to unpack that. Well, really, one word in particular. This is episode 2. It's giving... Can we say that? Let's start with an icebreaker. It's an oldie but goodie. We talked about it last season, but one discussion we can't seem to let go of is, can we truly call what we have here in the Bahamas influencer culture? And if not, what is it?
Again?
Oh, nah, you trying to cause trouble. You trying to cause some fucking trouble. You mean here in the Bahamas? Yeah. Alright. I genuinely don't believe that influencer culture exists here. Because who the fuck are these people?
Kind of overrated. Like what you influencing? What is really being influenced over here?
I think when it comes down to what we deem as influencers over here is pretty low. It's pretty low. The bar is really low.
I think part of the problem is that we like to transpose things from other cultures one for one over here, and it doesn't really work.
I think people take it for any little thing, if it were to be a viral tweet or viral post. But honestly, when it comes to businesses and marketing, the type of influencers that we look to and relate to and we see on our timelines that are in the US or different countries, they have the following to back that. If you are less than 10,000 followers, please get off this influencer train. You can be a nice socialite, and that's fine. People can know you, and that's also fine too. But in terms of actually leaving your 9 to 5 and calling yourself an influencer.
Overhype serves no purpose. I get it. If you want to find a career, and if the career providing, then sure.
If it's working for you,
do
then
that.
Right.
Do that. But we know deep down, you ain't worth shit as a person.
Dad, everybody already know how you is, so you putting this face on for the camera for what reason?
Yeah, we know the type of person you really are.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just people who want to be important, and then other people bigging them up and making them think they important. So it's boy, people get hate me. But when you have that friend who ain't really the cutest friend you ever had, but you bigging them up and oh sis purr, get there. You find this all that kind of stuff. There's be lying. Again, I say lie. So let's keep that point present.
I don't know. I feel like there are pros and cons. I feel like there are people that do it very well, authentically, organically, without even trying. And there's some people out there that forcing it to happen, and it don't work that way. There's some people that posting like crazy. Yo, this me. Yo, we get it. You're doing too much. Don't force it on us. You're getting annoying. It can be over the top sometimes for me. It's like a sponsored ad for me. When you keep posting, trying to force a message or force this type of lifestyle, or don't let it happen over time, not overnight.
I think there are some very good influencers who introduce you to new things that might be cool to try and check out. And I think there are some influencers that just record to record because I don't want to see you in Solomon's on a Tuesday afternoon.
I feel like influencer culture just gets a bad reputation because one thing with Bahamians, they don't see people have no fame or nothing. Once you get popular or once people go to you for a certain thing or really, really like you, the haters just start swarming. All of a sudden, something wrong with you when you get a little bit too much, you know? They don't like it when people like you a little bit too much. And I feel like that's a real problem. That's a black crab syndrome, because I feel like secretly they just want to do it, but they too shy, because you know a lot of Bahamians camera shy.
I mean, people often complain about it, and I don't get the complaints, because I mean, what's the difference between influencer culture in, you know, the now 2023 era of everything social media, and the advent of like television ads? You know what I'm saying? You get somebody popular to sell you macaroni, then you're gonna go and buy the macaroni that Beyonce eats. So what's the difference between somebody that doesn't have that type of stardom and someone that doesn't have a type of stardom but still sort of pushing a product or pushing a lifestyle? And I mean, I think it's cool.
Like, who the are these people? Like, give me one name me any influencer right now, and let me see if I know them and how they influence me. Name me one, anyone.
I mean, I get trying to rebrand your personal attitude,
You
whatever.
can rebrand, but you still ain't.
But at the end of the day, your personality's still the same.
Yeah, ain't.
And baby, Celeste is an influencer, however and wherever and whatever you want to put on that. But I don't have 10,000 followers, so I feel like that influencer thing is kind of like a double-headed sword. Like, people live by it, and I understand, because you know that's their business. It's what they actually do for a living. But I think people kind of forget what social media was for to begin with.
And you know, Bahamians, we actually disdain people who think that they're popular. Oh, you think you special? Like, we will actively ignore those people. Like, it's not the same, you know. And I feel like most of the people who we consider influencers would say the same. Most of them would be hesitant to call themselves influencers, and they feel the same. They're like, I'm an entertainer, I'm a comedian. They'll say those things, but like, influencer, that's a bit much.
They're not influencing the people in the way that you think they should. It's more of a get this money to be more flashy, be more materialistic about it, as opposed to bringing people together to find solutions for problems, actual life problems. It's more of me, get you, build you up. That's just my take on it.
I don't need to know that a specific hair company paid you to put on their hair. Make me feel like you genuinely went there, bought this weave, and this weave just busting. Make me want to go buy this weave. Organically. I don't need to see the paid thing at the end, and I don't need you to be doing too much. Oh, we're gonna do giveaways. I don't give a shit about the giveaway. I just need your honest, raw, authentic, and genuine feedback.
Because on the camera, you could take after take after take after take. But in person, it's like, you really a
You take one, only take one.
You really a
real.
We all know who we talking about.
Hey, yo.
Don't call names.
I don't. This sounds very personal.
I ain't gotta call no names.
That's crazy.
Y'all ain't gonna make no damn TikTok on me.
It's very scripted. Hey guys, welcome to the channel.
Sound like my daughter
Smash the subscribe button. We're gonna get into my haul from Shein, you know, whatever.
Oh my gosh, you talking about homegirl.
No, I don't mean nobody. Everybody doing the same thing. I don't mean nobody.
She just do that.
I don't mean,
she
I
just
can
do
mean
that.
anybody.
She just say, oh, let's check out outfits I order from Shein.
I just, okay, let me just
see them when you wear them, but if you post them now, and you wear them again, I can be like, didn't we research that?
No, honestly, it ain't even.
Secretly, they really want to do it, and they know they can't do it, or they don't want to put in the work to be able to get good at it and do it, or they cannot face their fears about how people think and feel about them. They cannot release themselves from the opinions of other people, so they hate. So it's just jealousy.
I got some influencers. I'm not gonna say who they are, but there are some people that inspire me to do things. A lot of the things that, you know, my wife and I do when we travel, we see, you know, other couples may have tried it, or you learn it from other people. I just think it's another means of collective learning that people like to hate on because they have no influence over anybody.
No, even like with food, even like people is like, they do the most, like they force it in your face. Food, clothes, everybody just copy and paste and like, just be natural, let it be organic, and let people say, hey, I love what you're doing. Like Ashley, shout out Ashley. Ashley does an amazing job.
She's a really good influencer.
Amazing job. You know, like, I have nothing against no one. I just feel like I'm seeing the same thing over and over.
But I love that Bahamian creators are just doing their thing. I love influencer culture. Now, I don't love it when you recommend me some to try and make money off of me. See, I don't be into that. But as long as you honest, I don't have a problem with Bahamians branching out and becoming influencers, quitting their job, they're only paying them 2 cents and treating them bad, and trying to keep them as slaves to the government or slaves to a job and capitalism and these white people. I don't be into all of that.
I like your stuff too when you was doing like the heavy weightlifting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You weren't really doing it, you know, to say get clout. You was doing it because you was just sharing your journey. You know? It made me want to go to the gym. I didn't go. It just made me want to go. Just saying.
I really like where I see influencer culture, the real influencer culture, going. Not what Bahamian people perceive it to be.
Now to the meat and potatoes. No turning back now. We're unpacking Bahamians' relationship with the N-word.
It's hilarious. Sorry, like. You go to the Chinese. Come here, nigga.
Yeah, really.
Give me what tree collect.
I feel like it's really the way that you use it.
Oh, okay. I don't have any. I lie. I do have feelings about it. So my feelings are, I don't like these people from QC coming up there trying to like transpose once again this idea.
Well, y'all could just roll the tapes back. Y'all see I say nigga all the time. So I just would hope that the Bahamians know when to turn it on, when to turn it off. I don't have a problem with the word per se, but just know the type of people you're saying it around, the environment you're saying it around, where you know you just cannot say it, and when you know it's okay.
I think I said that a couple times. Have I? I haven't said nigga. I haven't said nigga. Nigga. I've said it now.
What about it?
I think it's phasing away, to be honest. I think people say boy more than nigga now, to be honest. I feel like
I don't think we ever had a problem with people saying nigga.
once certain people don't say it, we'll be okay.
Yeah, like don't be like visiting from Pennsylvania and you as white as snow and you calling me nigga because I'm gonna punch you in the face.
I think it's outdated.
Tourism out the window, you could get your ass. Kia, you're gonna
What's going on with Jose?
I mean, I feel like that's a bother us. You know what I mean? I feel like there is no problem with saying the word nigga. You know, and I may be public enemy number whatever, but like that word does not move me in any way. If a white person was to stand up here right now and call me a nigga, like that would not move me. Because that would carry the same, like, equal weight as them calling me a fucking jail.
No, because like, okay, so there's certain people like, oh, my niece is from QC. My niece goes to QC. And she's like, oh, Uncle Steven, you shouldn't say the N-word. And it's like, nigga, please. All right?
I think we use it too loosely, and we don't understand that it is a part of history that has affected us as well. Maybe not as much, but it has as well. And I try to move away from it now. If I'm mad, you can get a couple N-words. Yeah, if I'm mad, yeah, you can get it.
I mean, I'm one of those people. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't take it as offensive at all.
This is just one of those things that is just like what could you do? Because you have YT people that have actually been born here, that have actually grew up here, that have actually experienced our culture and is actually a part of us. But does that mean that just because they have a lighter hue, that they can't say it?
They're not black.
I understand, but they're Bahamian.
Oh, what does that mean? They're not black.
Okay.
I think it's a cultural thing. We use the word however we see fit, and we allow who we see fit to use the word, and I don't think we should be influenced by other places' view of that, because whatever relationship you have with the word is different than what someone else might have with it.
It's something, and I refer to a person as such. And then I refer to people, especially those that travel on Gladstone Road in the morning between Mondays and Fridays, who drive down the road in the opposite direction, as being very N-Lee.
And the people that y'all allowing to say it, don't be letting y'all little white friends who grew up in the Grove be saying nigga. No. I don't be into all of that. Because at the end of the day, you still a colonizer, buddy.
And it is everything in context. Everything you cannot take context out of stuff. There's a cultural context, there's a historic context, there's a language thing, right? And yes, it is different when somebody from a different, not just skin color, but like somebody from a different cultural position, like a white American coming and saying nigga, that's a very different thing. Because in this context, why are you even saying that in this country?
And I think that's only because we come from predominantly black culture and populace that we see it blindly. So we give the lie to our other nationals or Conky Joe counterparts that who feel as though because you sound like me means that you look like me, and that's not the case. Just because you could say boy and hard go and what you're saying and sound like me does not mean that you look like me.
I understand that there's a difference between calling somebody a nigger with like a hard R at the end versus the way that we colloquially use the word nigger. But the derivative of both of them is the same. And on that basis, it makes me uncomfortable, is putting it mildly, when white Bahamians say nigger.
I'm not quite finished with this one though. Nick and PJ are leading me to my next question, but I want to find out what the season 1 faves think about this. So I think it's time for a side quest. Let's see what Drew and Footy have to say about this.
I don't know, boy, because I had one brethren in school. He used to say nigga all the time. Like, I don't call his name out. We can bleach it, leave his name out. Get mad at this bombers. Kowalski used to say nigga all the time. Kowalski. That was the boy name, boy. Kowalski. Kowalski used to say nigga all the time. I guess it depends where you grew up. If you grew up with Bahamas, nigga don't mean nigga, boy. Nigga does not mean nigga. Nigga means man.
I got white niggas who I grew up with in Kingsway Academy. Their light bill wasn't paid, their phone bill wasn't paid, nothing was paid. They were in the same situation as me. I was wearing Ewings, which were a city market special for $22.99 in '92. And my boy had on Ewings. If you're a Conky Joe born and bred, I have no problem with you saying nigga. Here's the difference. If you're inland saying nigga, I have no problem. You can't come from Life of Key School and say the word nigga to me, and I'll be punching you square in the uterus. I'm sorry. Also, St. Andrews niggas, we gave y'all half a blight. Some of y'all took out loans to go to school. That's fine. If you took out a loan to go to St. Andrews, you can say nigga. If you pay for that with cash, you racist.
Unless it coming, we know what nigga means if it coming from like an American or some like them high ups, white people named high ups. Yes, if you using it in a racist way, yes. If you just say nigga, as in, but them niggas over there, that mean man in the Bahamas.
I feel like the main issue here is can white people say it? You can't look me in the eye and tell me a Long Island nigga cannot say nigga. You can't look me in the eye and tell me an Abaco nigga can't say nigga. You know who can't say nigga? Spanish Wells niggas. Green Turtle Key niggas. Lightfoot Key niggas. Cable Beach never been to the Mall Marathon and Kelly's have to do that walk niggas. Y'all can't say that shit. But everyone else, if you went to Temple Christian and you white, nigga, yeah, off. You went through a lot, beloved. God bless. And if you went to government school and you white, say nigger. Like, you're allowed. And tell them I told you. You can say that. But if Life of Key, St. Andrews, nah, y'all walking the line. I don't trust y'all niggas. Real talk.
Yeah, it really depends on where it come from. Like, Daddy Whites? Daddy Whites be running around and saying nigga all day? I see nobody punch Daddy Whites yet. But he ain't get a punch?
Okay, so I guess it's only natural to ask, how do you feel about Conky Joe's saying the N-word?
How much time do we have?
It depends on if
it depends on what is involved and the setting.
And the context that you're saying.
Dominoes is slamming that heavily, you know, that dictate what's
the way you grow up.
what happened.
Where you grow up, Who you grew up around.
And then who it is. It just,
Yeah,
some
like-
people just kind of walk around and say, what's going on, niggas? Like,
Oh, no, they shouldn't. Nope. Family, no, we should not. Thanks. If you don't have no curl in your hair, that's not a word for you. There we go. I said it.
I don't have as much problem with it as people think. Now, if you are a Bahamian of any persuasion and you have ever started a conversation with a talking point from Fox News or OAN, then you can't say it. I don't care what color you are, right? I don't care which island you're from, whatever.
From what I've noticed, right, people is called light-skinned people Conky Joe, and then people is also called white Bahamians Conky Joe. So it depends on which version of the Conky Joe calling me nigga. Now, say, Bonneman called me nigga, right? It's cool. I could see Bonneman got a little black in it. But if, let's say, someone like, someone of the blonde hair, blue eyes variety called me nigga, then all of a sudden I lose all rationale and I grab one Guinness bottle and I burst.
Yeah.
It's a whole difference. The two of them might have been born in the same hospital, same day, same island. I ain't give a fuck. I can see he got some black in him. You on the other hand, you a little different.
I know a lot who choose not to recently, but did when they were younger, and that's fine. Who chooses to use the word, who chooses not to, again, cultural. We almost use it like how we use boy anyway, so like, really what's the difference? I could get cancelled for that take.
How do I feel about a Conky Joe saying nigga? I don't know. I'm probably one of those people, one of those rare people. It's like, if me and the boy like really, really cool, okay, you could say it like once every other day, but not a frequent thing. Like if you excited, like, yeah, boy, that's my nigga, yeah. But like, don't say it in text. And don't put it in all caps. Because now you're shouting. And you're making me feel like you want to follow that nigga with boy. And that's what we're not gonna do. We're not gonna do that. Harriet Tubman did not knock out all those babies for me to settle for this.
The word nigger at one point, the French Canadians used to use it to refer to themselves, all right? Very long time ago. Because they use it the same way we use it. Whereas like, oh, that white nigga over there, black nigga, Indian nigga. Like they just literally just using it because to them it was interchangeable with basically like somebody who is outdoorsy, a rugged man, all right? But context changes over years and years and years. And there's this assumption that automatically, through magic, this word always causes offense, no matter who says it or how they say it. And it's like, that's not how words work. I don't have a problem with Conky Joes saying it because they're Conky Joe. Some Conky Joes, believe it or not, are not white. Some of them know that, some of them don't know that.
Conky Joes, and people might be slighted by this. Who gives a f***? Everybody's be slighted by something. But like, I feel like Conky Joes, like, they grow up a different way. And they grow up pale. And we used to use that term so loosely. Like, yeah, they have a little bit of Caucasus in them, whatever, cool, right? But, I don't know, I feel like they're more like wiggers. Let me use the term.
I'm just gonna be frank about it. I don't think that necessarily all of them mean it in a racial way. Some do, let's be honest. Some of them do. And I don't think that it's used in a way to kind of like taunt people the way that some people perceive it. Like they don't say it so that you could freak out and correct them. But I just don't think they should say it. Like it's just one of those things. Like I don't even know what the equivalent of that would be, and because there is no equivalent, they just shouldn't be able to do it. Like you don't see me walking into places and be like, "What's going on, you honkies?" Like, you know what I'm saying? So there's just no context where I think it's appropriate. that's just that on that. Like, I don't know. I don't really budge in my position with that. In fact, I get in many arguments over the same all the time. A lot of them just let it fly. And then you're kind of sitting there and you look around like, only me heard that.
No, you came here on whatever flight. You don't have no rights to do that. I don't care what your passport says. I don't care what it is. Don't call me no nigga.
Your family come on the comfortable side of the boat. Don't call me no nigga.
Don't call me no nigga. Up at that beach chairs, mimosas and all. Yeah.
Enjoying a little excursion, if you will. An excursion.
If you may.
An expedition of some sorts.
The real problem isn't specifically the word. It is what you mean. Because any word can be offensive. It is why there's the running joke in America where it's like, oh, what do we call black people now? Because at one point, calling a black person nigger, as in, what's the guy's name? Mark Twain? In Mark Twain, when he wrote the story about Huckleberry Finn, isn't Nigger John a character or something? Or what, right? But that wasn't to say, oh, it was offensive at the time. It was like, there were people who found it offensive, but it was also, we could publish this and this is fine. Negro was fine for a bit. Colored was fine for a bit. African American was fine for a bit. Now black is the term, right? You could keep changing whatever it is, but if the person saying it is saying it with disdain, it doesn't matter what they say, it's going to be a problem.
I don't know. It don't bother me if they say it. And also, I come from like a family where like my grandmother was white. My family mixed, so like, you know, these racial topics ain't really for me. Because a lot of things that would offend the black people wouldn't offend me. Like, because I get in both ends of the spectrum. And that's how I came up. And it was never like done in an offensive way, so.
Because it is not the word specifically, it is what you mean when you say it and how you're saying it. Because there's a loving way to say the wrong word, but there's a hateful way to say the right word. And so I'm not gonna just like jump up and be like, how dare this person who is 2 shades lighter than me say this word when their grandfather, by the one drop rule, was technically black. And I don't know if this person grew up around a bunch of other black people or not. Like, I have to rule it in context.
Points were made on all sides. I guess this is something that we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. For me, I feel like there's a time and place for everything. And although words have meanings, I also feel as if we have the ability to validate, dismiss, and or change those meanings. But it's still good to have these conversations because you never know how someone else feels until you ask. Until next time, love, the Gapseed Room.